So this is burnt umber and titanium buff. So I'm going a bit dark at first. You don't see a lot of titanium buff in here, just because I want the color to just, I'd like to start with dark and then highlight it.
This is not dark, Leah. This is not dark.
It's a bit darker than what you're seeing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a bit more of, I'm just taking a little bit more of the burnt umber, making this part darker. Now, go back to burnt umber and titanium buff. Okay, I'm going to take more of the titanium buff, mix it with the burnt umber, lighter. So I'm making my burnt umber lighter. Not too light, light enough. Wipe my brush. Right. So what I'm going to do right now is highlight the back of the
Dog.
The dog,
The back.
Yeah.
With the titanium buff layer?
Yes.
By itself?
No, titanium buff and burnt umber.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it looks white.
No, but that's because the camera is, I don't know, the light is not, it's not the right light, you know. It's not that light here.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't control the light in here. I'm going to highlight now the top of the head, right here. Bring the highlight down a bit. It's a cute dog.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the color of the pure dog.
No. Is it the color of the real, like the dog himself?
The real, yes.
No, no, I'm sure it's not that color.
Oh,
It's not like this. I'm sure.
okay.
Okay. I think it would be, I can see it better if it's, if I put the black for the ears and the nose. Yeah, in ears, nose, and eyes. Right. Okay, let's do that. So for that, for this section, I'm going to take a really small, tiny brown brush. Very tiny. And I'm going to take some black. Ivory black, any black you have. Dip my brush in a bit of water. Okay. Wipe it. If you have pencil, a pen,
Yeah.
use, if you want to use pencil, probably pencil.
Yeah.
I mean, a black,
And then a little bit with water. Eh?
yeah. I'll wait for it to dry. If the ears look a bit too dark, then I'll use, I'll put some burnt umber over it. This is like a dry brush. Whatever leftover black I have on my. I'm switching to burnt umber now with the same brush.
the ears are black or burnt umber?
You know what? Use burnt umber.
Okay.
Yeah, use burnt umber.
But the eyes are black.
Yes, and the nose.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to go a bit darker for the back leg. Right. Right. So I'm just going to work on the background a bit to soften it with titanium buff. Push my camera. Titanium buff. And this is Naples yellow for the background to have a bit of a slight difference in color than the brown that you see that we have used on them. And of course, I'm adding a touch of burnt umber. So now, this is where the light color is and where it blends with the dark top. What we're going to do is take another brush and add more burnt umber to the same color, and make sure you do this when it's still wet, so you don't end up with a sharp line when you're blending these colors. Very soft touch. Don't push too hard. Okay, that's good. Very soft. A soft transition. Now I'm going to go back and just push. I love this strong light that's coming from behind the figure. Even in the reference, you can see it in the reference. Such a beautiful, strong light. Okay, I think I'm going to switch from a round brush to a flat one. Yeah, spread the color here. Now I'm going to do the same with this side. This is quite different. It's really strong, lighter, but I like that color. I like this beautiful.
And this is buff and raw amber?
No, this is titanium buff,
Yes.
Naples yellow, and a touch and a bit of burnt umber, not raw umber. I'm using, if you're using raw umber, keep using raw umber, but I'm using burnt umber here.
Yeah. No, just asking.
Yeah. So whatever brown you're using, just add titanium buff and Naples yellow to it.
Yeah.
Is it slightly darker on the right or is it the same?
It should be the same, but I'm waiting for it to dry to see if it's going to go darker. This might go darker and become like this one here. It just now because it's wet, and I might need another layer too, but we'll see when it's dry.
It's so mesmerizing watching you paint.
Watching anybody paint is mesmerizing.
How do you get so much paint on your brush? Because I find mine just dries up.
I load my brush, but when I'm initially putting the color on, spreading the color on my canvas, I don't push too hard. And then I push a bit more when I want to, I release the paint slowly from the brush. I don't push hard first. So you're saying your color is drying fast, right?
Well, I never seem to have enough paint on my brush that I have to keep going back, and I actually have to dip my brush in a bit of water each time because my mixture ends up drying.
Yes. Yeah, I'm dipping my brush in water right now.
It's frustrating.
But now, so I'm loading my brush, make sure that it's not too watery.
But you're feathering the brush strokes, you're not pressing, that's the trick.
Yes, so initially I feathered. Now I'm pressing a little bit harder. I'm going to add at this point at the bottom here. Let's see what I'm doing. Oh my God. Tell me because I'm not looking at the camera. I'm not looking at the monitor. So I'm adding a bit more burnt umber now at the bottom. I'm mixing. So I have spots here. I have to wait for it to dry. And over top here, that needs to be blended. shouldn't be doing this right now because it's wet. So I'm taking a risk, but I'm not pressing hard anyway. So I don't want it to lift. You know, when you practice painting with acrylics, you find that when you're painting walls in your house, you become really good at it because you understand the color, because it's the same. It's the same thing, you know. That's why I realized after that, when I practiced and I started understanding the acrylic colors, when I'm painting walls, my walls in the house, ooh, much better.
Yeah, but you don't have to do different shades when you're painting your house. It's one.
True.
It's one color, one tone.
Right. Yeah. But you know why you have to wait, and you don't do the second layer until later, because the color is going to lift. All of these things. And when you're applying the color, you're looking at the what the color is doing. How it's spreading on the wall. It's you start connecting using acrylics and painting walls.
One of the things that my father-in-law used to tell us was that when you're painting, you have to load your brush with a lot of paint.
Yes, and then spread it, right?
And yeah, and that's you need to have a lot of paint on your brush, and it's the same as what you're doing. You're loading up your brush and you start off feathering.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Why is my camera? Okay.
Layal?
Yes.
I guess it's easier to blend with oils than with acrylic, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to stop recording.